Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Noah here on a Sunday night, a holiday weekend Sunday night. I am going to see if this is connecting. We are supposed to be, this is the first time I've done this. We're going to start doing a lot more of these. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. But we are supposed to be live right now on YouTube and Twitter and Rumble. So if you are seeing this, just give me you can comment here and it'll come right to me, and or give it a like. Let me see if you're hearing this, and I want to wait until we get everybody on here. But this is the first time I've done this, so I'm not sure if I've got it set up right, but I think I do. So I know most people are probably at barbecues or hanging out with family, but I just thought, you know what? I'm going to turn this on and we're going to see if this is working. So if you're seeing this, give me a comment, give me a like, give me something. Let me know if you're around. Tell you what, tell me where you're watching from. Are you on YouTube? Are you on Rumble? Are you on Twitter? I'm going to jump in here. What we're going to do, this is going to be totally live. So unlike when I bring guests on, we usually record those and then upload those later. We're going totally live on this. I'm going to show you what's catching my attention right now. And sometimes it'd be a lot quicker than being able to put out an article. So we're just going to test this out. I think it's going to be fun. I'll be able to get your comments in real time. We'll be able to respond back and forth. And then I'm going to set it up here in a little bit. I don't have it all figured out yet, but I'm going to set it up where we can take phone calls. So it's going to be like, I'm a big fan of radio, calling talk radio. Huge fan. Used to love Rush and so many other people. But we're going to set it up to where you can actually call in. And oh, hey, okay, Susan here. So we must be working. Susan says they cut you off on YouTube. Susan, what? We're on 2 different YouTube channels. Which one are you on? Let me know. Anybody else watching, give me a comment. Let me know if you're out there and seeing this. I think we're connected, but I'm not entirely sure. Susan, I'm guessing you're on the Daily Truth Report YouTube. Let me know if you can get back in, Susan. Anybody else watching, let me know if you're seeing this. But I was just saying, we're going to set this up to where I'm actually going to take live phone calls from you. And I think it's going to be a blast. So, all right, I'm seeing some people coming in here. This is good. All right, well, now that I know it's working, I'm just going to jump in, and we're going to see how this goes. We're going to test some things out. But what I want to be able to do is just get on here and show you what I am looking at, what's breaking right now, give you kind of my take on it just over the microphone instead of having to type out something. And we'll still, of course, do our articles. Sometimes I'll talk about articles I've written, and sometimes we'll just talk about totally different stuff that other people have done. But I'm just going to kind of do some news reporting live, and we'll do it at different times of the day, and we'll just see what works and see what's fun. But I think this would be great. All right, there we go. King's Daughter, you're on. Thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. So here's the first one, and I put this out earlier today, but it just says Kamala Mask ? And I'll see if I can scroll down here a little bit. This is actually, I saw this from Derek Johnson, and we've covered him a lot. He is military or ex-military, and he has spent a lot of time. He knows the military code inside and out, and I think he's fascinating. I know some people love him, some people don't know what to think, but I think he's great. And so he posted this today. He says, "I love this movie," and then he's got to zoom in on Kamala and her neck. It does look really weird. I will put. You should be able to see this on the screen right now if you're watching with us. But I will also put all the links below the video so you can go click them and see them yourself. But just take a look yourself. I don't know what that is. It could. I put in the article. I said he's right. It could be a mask. It could be something very strange. I don't know a lot of people's necks that look like that, or it could just be fat. She could be a fat roll. She's not in the best of shape. It could just be a layer of fat rolling over on itself. So those are my 2 thoughts. I also put some other pictures in here too. It does show up in other photos. So, again, is it just a little bit different in this one, though? Let me see if I can click into this. Yeah, I mean, this one, I don't know. That doesn't look real normal to me. What about this one? See, that looks very different than the first one over here. So I don't know. I don't know people's necks that change that much from picture to picture. So, hey, you decide. I'm just putting it out there. So I'm saying it's either fat or it's something strange, possibly with a mask. I don't know. It did remind me a lot. I posted this too down below. It reminded me a lot. Do you guys remember this one? This was from back at the World Cup when Elon was over there, and look at that. He's got the exact same kind of thing going on, and even the color. Why is there? I mean, I guess that's just your tan from your shirt, but why is the color so different on both sides of this line? So anyway, I don't know. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Here we go. Mama says it's a mask. Chris Yoon also has an episode on this. Jay, you're right. I've seen that and covered it, and I thought he did an incredible job on that. So, yeah, absolutely. I've posted his video before because he did a really good job going into it. King's daughter says, "Yeah, fat roll sounds about right." So I don't know. I mean, to be fair, maybe it's just fat, and that's what a fat roll is. It looks like a line. So I'm not sure. I do know this, and I've posted about this before too. I don't know if I put it in this article, but if you think it's not possible, or that that's silly, or that they don't have the technology to put together a face like that in a mask, that part I would call you out on, because I've posted this before too. I won't play this because we'll probably get a copyright strike on YouTube. But check this out. This is in that same article, and again, the link's down below. But check this out. This is ESPN. They took Eli Manning, who I think is now retired, and they did a whole new mask on him. Obviously, everyone knows what Eli Manning looks like, especially if you're playing college football. But they doctored him up with a full face mask, and look at that. Look at the neck. It's perfect. The entire face mask right there. And this was a TV show they did, and he went out and he played with these college kids trying to try out for the college for Penn State. And so, that's not just some guy standing at a podium talking. That is Eli Manning running around, running, sweating, getting hit. And for the entire show, no one figured it out. So the one thing I'll say is you can say that, well, I just don't believe it. But if you think the tech isn't there, the tech's definitely there. And to me, this show proves it more than anything else. It's not just possible. They did it, and they did it on a football field with heat and sweating. And I mean, I don't know how the mask stayed on, but it stayed on so well. And he was able to talk through it. He was able to eat with everybody, get hit playing football, put on a helmet. So if you think they can't create a mask, just go watch that show. And again, I'm not going to play it here, but you go watch that, and you tell me there's no way they can't do that same thing for Joe Biden or Kamala or any of these other people. So, all right, well, let me move on. Here's the next thing. I put a huge article about this Fed Now thing. You've probably been hearing about it. You can read this, but here's what happens when Fed Now goes live. I put this together because I had some family members even calling me up or over at my house and saying, hey, you got a second? What's going on with this Fed Now thing? What's going to happen to my bank account? So I finally just put it all together in an article. It was supposed to go live July 1st, and it's now been delayed. It looks like it's going to be delayed until July 20th. But it's still coming. And so here's the deal. What happens when Fed Now goes live? On July 20th, probably nothing. And that's what I told my family member that was asking. I said, look, probably nothing. The world's not going to instantly change when you roll out of bed that morning. But it's what they always do. They boil the frog slowly. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to roll this out, and they're going to say, see, July 20th came and went. Nothing bad happened. The world's still the same. And this isn't a direct connection between the Fed and you. Your bank is still in the middle. And then people are going to forget about it, and they're going to let time go by. But here's what's so dangerous about this Fed Now thing. So this is what's called, it's a CBDC, which stands for Central Bank Digital Currency. but it's called programmable money. So if you have a $20 bill in your wallet right now or in your purse, you got cash, $20 bill. You can go spend that anywhere that you want. You can pay the neighbor kid down the street to mow your yard. You can take it to the grocery store. You can invest it. You can do anything you want with that. And places have to take cash. So as long as if it costs $20 and you have $20, boom, you're set. What's going to happen with programmable money is it's all going to be on the computer. And what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, well, yes, here's your wallet. And you do have $20 in your account, but we've programmed it so that money can only be used for groceries. Because we've noticed that you've been traveling a lot. You took 3 plane rides last month, and that contributed too much carbon to the environment. So we're going to cut off your carbon use. And in fact, you know what? We really don't even want you buying gas with it either for your car. You've been driving around too much between the plane and the car. It's just too much. So no gas and no travel. You can go ahead and use it for groceries and some other stuff, but we're going to cut off gasoline and travel. And that's just one example, but that's what's coming. There's going to be categories like that where they say what you can and what you can't use it for. The other thing they're going to do is they're going to tie it eventually. They're not going to do this right away. It's not going to happen on June 20th. It's not going to happen on June or July 20th or July 30th. It probably won't even happen this year. But what they are going to do then is they're going to say, okay, we're going to tie this to your social credit score too. And we're going to start watching everything you post online and maybe things you've said that we don't like. And if your social credit score falls below a certain line, well, your account's going to get restricted. And, it's kind of like if you've been in Facebook jail, the first time it's just a warning. Then the next time you got a 24-hour timeout. Then you got a 7-day timeout. Then you got a 14-day timeout. Then it's a 1-month timeout. And then they just delete you. And that's what they did to me. But that's what they're going to do to your wallet. So that's why I posted this. What's going to happen immediately? Nothing. What's going to happen in the mid to long term? It's probably very bad. And so I've got it all right here. Go ahead and grab the link. It's below this video. You can, if people in your family are asking you about it, you can send them to this article. There's a lot in here. I got some videos. 57 firms are already set up to start using it. They're in the beta test right now. And anyway, there's a lot in here. This Jim Rickards, he's been on this for a long time. I put 3 of his videos here. He's been talking about what he calls ICE 9 for a long time. And he's incredible. So I put 3 of those. And then the other thing I put in here, you have to get all the way to the end. I put a lot in here, but if you get all the way to the end, you probably seen me talking about this company. This is Genesis Gold. And look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your finances. But personally, I've been buying some gold. I've been actually buying more silver. I like both. There's a reason they call it God's money. And so I've partnered up with these guys, and they've just been great. They've already taken care of a lot of people. In fact, I've been talking about them so much they asked me to kind of slow down because they've got a little bit of a backlog. They don't have a huge staff, but they will help you if you have money in an IRA, they will help you get that into a gold or silver IRA, and they're great to work with. So if you want to talk to them, go to genesiswlt.com, and then you'll see all the stuff on there. But they really are good if you're looking for that. And if you're all set, then that's good too. All right, this next one here, if you recognize that background, that is Patrick Bet-David's podcast, and I am working to get him on my show. I am a huge fan, and we are going to make that happen eventually. I don't think he knows it yet, but we're going to make that happen, and I can't wait to have this guy on. But he's huge and he's fantastic, and he's got a lot of common sense. And he had this retired colonel, Douglas McGregor, on his show, and he had a couple things. He said, number one, I don't think Patrick was asking him about the upcoming election, what he thinks, and he said, "What? I don't think it matters because I don't think we're going to get there. I don't think we're going to have an election." And when a guy like that starts talking, I tend to listen. So I put that clip in here. There's a shorter clip down here, and then there's this is like a 17-minute clip up here in this one. So you can watch both of those. It's absolutely fascinating. The other thing that he says is, it kind of ties back to the thing I was telling you about with Fed Now. He thinks it's going to be worse than I think it's going to be. I kind of think we're going to have maybe 1 or 2 days in the coming future where the banks are just closed, and it probably will be a Monday because these things happen over the weekend. But I think we're going to get a point where you just can't, all the banks are closed. You can't get your money. You can't access it online. You can't go into a branch, and they're just going to be closed. They're going to be down. They're going to say, sorry, closed for maintenance. And he thinks that's going to be for more like 2 to 3 weeks instead of 2 to 3 days. So really fascinating there. Let me see. I think maybe I can play a little bit of that. Hang on a second. Maybe we might be rate limited by Twitter. Let's see.
I don't think we'll ever get to the 2024 election. I think things are going to implode in Washington before then. I think our economic financial condition is fragile. It's going to come home to roost in ugly ways. I will tell you, I don't know exactly how it will happen. I think we're going to end up in a situation where we find out the banks are closed for 2 or 3 weeks and nobody can get into them.
You think so?
I think we're going to run into something like that, yeah. I also think that the levels of violence and criminality in our cities is so high that it's going to spill over into other places in society. People that normally think they can live remote from the problem are now beginning to be touched by the problem. Then I look at this thing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose catastrophically. It's going to be a complete collapse. And that too is going to have an effect here at home because people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Everybody told us Ukraine was winning. Everybody told us X, Y, and Z. I mean, sort of the Russian hoax on steroids. All of those things are going to come together or converge in some way that's going to prevent us from reaching, the status quo. Oh, another election. Oh, another set of campaigns and so forth.
Okay, there you go, everybody. That full video is in my article below. You can go find this one that says this right here, Colonel Douglas McGregor, and you can watch the full 17-minute clip. Speaking of clips, I thought this one was incredible. This is President Trump in South Carolina, and Lindsey Graham got booed 3 times yesterday, and this is just one of them. But watch this. This is just classic. Trump tries to save him a couple times, and then even he's kind of throws in the towel. You can hear him laugh, and he says, something about I'll try and fix it, Lindsey, or something, or I'll try and fix Lindsey. So watch this. This is great. Oh, let me move it over here.
Fantastic. And again, Senator Lindsey Graham, who is really got, I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to work on these people. I'm going to. All right. He's there. He's there when you need him. He's there.
I love that. He's there when you need him. Basically saying Trump's going to use him to get what he wants, and then not a whole lot of use for old Lindsey after that. What a terrible human being. Sorry, South Carolina, that you have to deal with him. But actually, if anyone's listening to this that's from South Carolina, let me know what you think about him. But not a fan here. All right. So next up, look at so this ties back. I've talked a lot about it, but back in February, I started this new mission, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But this directly ties into it. This is what I'm trying to prevent. Look at this nationwide recall of dry shampoo because cancer-causing ingredient is found. So watch this. I'll play this just real quick for you. This is a clip from CBS. Let me get the sound on, and I'll go back to the beginning.
Nearly 20 dry.
There's a nationwide voluntary recall on nearly 20 dry shampoo aerosol products. Unilever, which makes the products under the brand name Dove, Nexus, Suave, and Tresemme, say they may contain elevated levels of benzene, which is known to cause cancer. Customers are urged to stop using the products and go to Unilever's website for reimbursement instructions.
There you go. So even the stuff you spray on your hair, and we've got some of that dry shampoo in our house, even the stuff that you spray on your hair is toxic. And I was writing about this earlier today, and I said, it looks like they're trying to poison and kill you by all 5 of your senses. They're going to get what you eat. They've been doing that for a long time. Everything you eat, all the toxins in there. They're going to get you even by the stuff you smell and breathe in from hairspray. They're going to get you from what you put on your skin. They're going to get you through the blood. They're going to get you through vaccines. They're going to get you every single way. I think the ears are the only thing left, right? But I'm sure they're working on some sort of a sound that can kill you too. So just really, really, really disappointing. Let me show you this, because I always get this question. Well, which products are affected? Almost all of them. Here's a picture of some. And then I started to put together a list. Pantene, I don't know what Aussie is, but Aussie was on the list. Procter & Gamble's on the list. Dove, I'm sure you've heard of Dove. Suave, Nexus, they're all there. Tresemme, I've used that before. Got a bottle of that. So here's back to my mission then. So, and I'm going to start talking even more about this because it's so important, but I love this graphic. You think that you go to the grocery store and you can just have all these choices, and some stuff's good for you, some stuff's bad. Maybe you got to get in the health aisle. Maybe if you get in the health aisle, you get some better stuff. Everything in this picture, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Everything in here is owned by 11 different companies. All these different brands that you think are different, they've all got stuff in there with names that you can't pronounce, ingredients you can't pronounce, lab-grown ingredients, toxic ingredients, some of them, and red dye 40, red dye 3, all of this stuff that is just so bad for you. Engineered foods, very few real foods, high fructose corn syrup. It's all in there. And so that's why I started. And same thing with media too. I mean, you think, and this actually shows 6 different companies that own all the media. I think it's actually down to 4 now. I'll have to get an update on that. But I think we only have 4 companies owning all the media. So what I've got this awesome new mission that I'm so excited about. We've had over, I don't think I put the chart in here, but we've had over 70,000 people just since February raise their hand and say they'd like to get involved with this because of stuff like this, because they're tired of buying stuff at Walmart or Target or their local grocery store that they only find out later has cancer-causing ingredients. They're sick of it. The company that I partnered up with back in February, and it's invite only, so I can't say their name here on the screen, but if you'd like an invite, just go to the end of this article, click on this link right here, and you will get a personal invite. But they have been in business for over 37 years, and they have never once paid. Yeah, Jay, I wish I had a bigger poster of this. You can zoom in on that when you get to the screen, and you can just see every single thing. It's incredible. But so this company, they have never once in 37 years paid $1 in a settlement or in a judgment or anything. They've never paid anything for any sort of a product liability claim or claim that someone got hurt using one of their products or eating one of their products or putting the products on their hair. It's just an amazing company. They've got stuff that cleaning fluid and cleaning supplies that is so safe you can eat it. You probably don't want to, but their stuff is so safe you can even eat it and not get hurt. So I love this company. If you'd like a private invite on that, just go down and find this link, and I'll get someone to connect with you. I actually put together. I love this. Let me just play this real quick because this really sums it up. Yeah, no more buying from the big corporations that hate you. That's exactly right. Put toxic chemicals in all their products. I'll let you watch the rest of that if you want to go to it. But the funny thing is, I actually made that video back in February before all the Target stuff, before the Bud Light stuff. And it's just been so incredible how spot on that has been and really ahead of its time. But I'm so happy that we had it in place. So happy that I was able to recruit some people that I've got people that have joined my team that work on this full time with me now. I can't do it, but I was happy we were able to recruit people, get the team in place, and then it has just been perfect timing. So if you'd like an invite on that, let me know and we'll get you hooked up. There is also a wait for that. We're a little bit backed up. So if you request an invite, just know that it might be a couple days, 3, 4, 5 days, maybe. We're trying to get caught up, but we do have a little backlog there. All right, let me move quick because I got to wrap this up. But we also had this came out. They love to do this. I always tell you, they do this stuff when they think no one is watching. They do it on Fridays, they do it on holiday weekends, and this is just par for the course. Absolutely perfect. Additional JFK assassination files released by the National Archives today. I've got all the details in here, and again, all the links to everything we're talking about will be below this video, so you can grab that if you like. That's been one of our most popular stories all day today for good reason. And of course, we know from RFK Jr. what he thinks happened. And he thinks what we all think. But anyway, we'll get into that another time. This one, I love it. It hasn't gotten as many views as it should, but all of this Chat GPT and AI and all this stuff, it's just like anything. It's like TV, it's like radio, it's like the internet, it's like credit cards. It can be used for good or bad. And it's going to be used for a lot of good things, and it's going to be used for a lot of bad things. And it might ultimately be the end of society when the robots get conscious and then turn on us. But before we hit that point, it's going to be used for a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. And there's probably no use debating it because it's coming one way or another. But here's one of the good things, or at least the interesting things. I don't know if it's good or not, but so all this Chat GPT stuff, this AI stuff, all it is, it's called an LLM. So it's a large language model. So all they do, they feed in basically every book that's ever been written. They just feed it into a computer, and then the computer studies the sentences and the language structure and how one sentence relates to another. And then it starts to put value around words and concepts and starts to build concepts and understanding of what certain words and phrases and sentences mean. And then as it builds those building blocks, then it starts to understand more and more. Well, they've started doing the same thing with animals. So they're starting with whales, but imagine probably dogs next and all sorts of other things. And all they're doing is the same thing. They're taking all of the recorded whale sounds that we have, dropping them into a computer, letting the computer scan those, figure out what the whale is saying. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's like one step away from having like the old Star Trek universal translator, where it'll go possibly between whales and dogs and humans and whatever else. So there's a lot in here. I put a lot of different sources, and really interesting, at least as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. Is it good or bad? I don't know. Someone let me know what you think, but it's definitely interesting. Okay, this one. And I got to wrap up the rest of these real quick because it is a holiday weekend and I got to roll, but I'm just having fun jumping on here with you. And if you missed the beginning of this, I'm going to set up, we're going to start taking phone calls live too. So you'll be able to actually call in and just get on the air with me and we'll chat it up. So that'll be fun. Not tonight, but we will do that soon. So, okay, this one is probably better for something like this. It's kind of hard to explain in writing, but I certainly tried, and it's all here in this article. FTX money laundering scheme tied to Ukraine confirmed. So here's what we told you back in the fall. If you remember this story, UTX was this cryptocurrency exchange, and it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, it got all these big celebrity endorsements. Tom Brady was endorsing them. I think Shaq, all the big YouTube people, business YouTube people were endorsing them. just out of nowhere. And they like one day they didn't exist, and then all of a sudden they were here. Well, as the theory goes, and as Kim.com put in this tweet right here, basically here's what was going on. They take our tax dollars, they would send them over to Ukraine, and we've certainly seen that, right? Billions upon billions. I think we're in the hundreds of billions at this point, which never made any sense unless you understand this chart right here. So you take the tax dollars. I mean, this is just money laundering 101. I mean, if you've seen any movie, you understand this. But you take the tax dollars, ship them off to Ukraine. Ukraine then invests a bunch of those in FTX. FTX then takes that money out because it wasn't really doing a good job of, it was a fraud, basically. And then it gives those right back to the Democrat Party. And then the Democrat Party uses all of that money, the hundreds of billions of dollars, to win elections. Isn't that amazing? So that's what we told you back then. We theorized it. We thought it was true. Well, check this out. I mean, you could not be more right on this if you tried. So this is going to blow your mind. So this just happened this week, or maybe last week. Okay, so after FTX collapses, they go bankrupt. They totally go under. It was a massive story last fall. Right now, they owe $8.7 billion to their customers and clients and people that had accounts there. All that money just gone. People just lost hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. If you had an account there, it's just gone. So you tally that all up, and they owe people $8.7 billion. Well, if you have to unwind this scheme up here, what do you do if you owe $8.7 billion? Well, look at this. Isn't this interesting? Remember this from last week? Oh, the Pentagon just had an accounting error. And, well, shoot, they sent an extra $6.2 billion over to Ukraine. Amazing, right? And that's on top of the billions we've already sent them. So looks like even with all the billions we sent, still a little short. Got to true it up. So they get an extra $6.2 billion. So we start with we needed 8.7. We just got 6.2. We're getting millions every week. And then here's the announcement. Look at this. Just in. Bankrupt FTX has suddenly recovered $7 billion in liquid assets. I mean, are you kidding me? They're just laughing at us. I mean, you don't just, first of all, no one is so inept that you just have a accounting error and you send $6.2 billion to someone you're not supposed to. That does not happen, especially not to the Pentagon. That's intentional. And then nobody just finds $7 billion. So anyway, just unreal. There's a lot more in here. I really went crazy putting a lot of detail in, but they think we're not watching. They think we're dumb. They're laughing at us, but this is what they're doing. All right, let me move on. Oh, here's one more where they really are laughing at us, and they even admit that this video is incredible. This is a leaked meeting from the FDIC where they say if the people actually knew what we were doing and thinking, we'd have a mass panic on our hands. Let me see if I can play this.
It should be accessible when people need to know, but I don't think you have much hope of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know.
Welcome back to
All right, let me see if I can get into this.
making my video, which is going to.
Here you go.
I completely agree with that. I almost think you
And laughing about public is. Listen to this.
Okay, watch
should
this.
be accessible when people need to know, but I don't think you have much hope of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know.
You don't have a need to know.
I completely agree with that. I almost think you'd scare the public if you put this out. Like, why are they telling me this? Should I be concerned about my bank? Like, my insurance company doesn't tell me what they're doing with my assets. They just assume they're going to pay my claim, right? I think you've got to think of the unintended consequences of taking a public that has more full faith and confidence in the banking system than maybe people in this room do.
Wow, look at that. Listen to him laughing. The public has more confidence in the banking system than the people in this room do. And the people in that room are the FDIC. That one video right there, every American should see that. All right, I gotta move on, but I would encourage you to watch that entire 12-minute video. And wow. And again, I think I put, because it fits so well here, I think I put my same link here. If you want to get your money out of banks, get it out of the US dollar, get it into something like gold and silver. I'm not a financial advisor, but I would do that. I've got money in an IRA in silver, and it might be a good idea. I don't know. All right. All right. I'm just going to play this. Tell me if you feel safer having a military like this.
Hi, I'm Major Rachel Jones, and what pride means to me is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army. Pride means something very special to me as a LGBTQ individual, and it's a chance to show everyone what we have to offer in terms of the diverse skill sets that we bring and the diverse ways of thinking we bring into the team.
How about any skills you have in defending the country? Should we maybe talk about that? Oh, what a joke. All right, this one, I'm not gonna put sound on this one, but this is terrifying. This is France. Yeah, I'm turning the sound off on that. I don't want to see it, but this is what has happened to Paris, France. That is disgusting. Third world. That's not even third world stuff. That's sick. So sad. So sad to see what's happened to France. All right. I'm going to end with this one because this one's pretty amazing. I do have a little hesitation on this. It seems a little staged to me, but absolutely incredible video, heroic. I'm not going to play it because it's too long, but you've got this was just released. This actually happened last month. You probably remember it. It was that mass shooting at the outlet mall. But the body cam footage was just released. And like I said, I've got a few questions, a few red flags, but absolutely heroic, incredible stuff that I would encourage you to watch. So that'll be the very last link below this video. I've got to wrap it up. I've got to roll. But this was fun. This was kind of my test run just to see if the tech worked, see if we could connect and get this out to people. Seems like it worked. I think it's fun. We're gonna do future ones soon, and we're gonna get it set up where we have a phone number that you can call in. I'll put you right up on the air, and we can chat together and get your take. But all right, well, thanks for being here, King's Daughter. Thanks, Noah. Good info. Blessings to you, Jay. Thanks for being here, Mama D, Susan, everybody else. Thanks for being here, and we'll do it again soon. See ya.